All right, you guys ready for this? Today we are going deep on airport English.
Ooh, I like that.
I thought it was catchy.
Yeah.
So, everyone listening already knows how to say hello.
Right.
But, what about all those other situations that come up when you're at the airport? So we're talking about everything from check-in, immigration, all the way through to boarding the plane.
Yep.
So
the whole process.
Yeah, and it can be kind of intimidating, especially if you're not a native English speaker, right?
Absolutely.
So let's kind of like break it down.
Yeah, let's do it.
And give people some tips.
Yeah, because you know what? Airports are kind of like their own countries.
Oh.
They have their own little language. They've got all these codes and abbreviations and announcements and things that, you've got to know if you want to get around smoothly.
Yeah, I remember one time I was flying to, I think it was Italy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there was like a separate line for like EU citizens. Right. And I ended up like waiting in the wrong line for like an hour.
Oh, no.
And I was so flustered by the time I actually got to the gate.
Yeah, you need that extra time.
Exactly. So let's, hopefully help people avoid those kinds of situations.
Exactly. So you can feel like a pro.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you own the airport.
So let's start at the beginning. Check in.
Right.
Now, this seems pretty straightforward, but there's some, key phrases and things to be aware of.
Yeah, because that first interaction at the check-in counter can set the tone for your whole trip.
Totally.
You want to make sure you're understood and that you understand what they're saying.
Yeah. So, for example, the first thing they're probably going to ask you is, do you have any bags to check?
Yeah.
Half. Classic.
And that seems simple enough. But, there's actually a lot packed into that question.
It's not just about whether you have a bag.
Exactly. They're also kind of low-key checking. If you know the rules, you know about baggage restrictions, weight limits, all that stuff.
Yeah, because every airline has their own policies.
Oh, for sure.
And if you're not aware of them, you could end up having to, pay extra fees or even, rearrange your luggage.
Ugh. Yeah, the last-minute scramble at the airport.
The worst.
Nobody wants that.
So, pro tip. Before you even get to the airport, check the airline's website.
Absolutely.
Look up their baggage policy.
Yeah, know your limits.
Know your limits, exactly.
And save yourself a headache.
And some money, potentially.
Definitely.
All right, so you've checked your bags.
Okay.
Now comes the exciting part.
What's that?
Seat selection.
Ah, yes. The window or aisle dilemma.
It's a big decision.
It is. It is. You got to think about it.
What's your go-to?
I used to be all about the window seat.
Really?
Yeah, loved that view, especially during takeoff and landing. Yeah.
But now I gotta say I'm more of an aisle person.
Really? Why the change?
Well, as you get older, you start to appreciate the convenience of getting up and down easily.
That's true.
Especially on those long-haul flights.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, gotta stretch those legs.
Yeah, and I like having access to, the overhead bin and stuff.
Right. Easy access to your thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So when they ask you window or aisle, think about your priorities.
Right, what's important to you on this flight?
Exactly, and don't be afraid to, politely request a specific seat.
Absolutely. The worst they can say is no.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes, they can accommodate you.
Right, especially if the flight isn't full.
Exactly.
So you've got your boarding pass, hopefully a decent seat.
Okay, we're making progress.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
But now comes the part that I think a lot of people get nervous about.
Oh, yeah.
Immigration. So how can we prepare for that? Well, first of all, don't panic.
Right.
The immigration officers, they're just doing their job.
Right.
They want to make sure everything's in order. So the best thing you can do is be prepared.
Okay.
Have your documents ready.
Right.
Your passport, your visa if you need one, your return ticket, any kind of confirmation of accommodation or travel plans.
Right. So they might ask you about the purpose of your visit.
Yeah. What brings you to country?
Right.
They might ask how long you're planning to stay, where you'll be staying, things like that.
Yeah, and it's helpful to have a general itinerary in mind.
It shows you're organized.
Right. Even if it's just a rough one.
Yeah. You don't need to have every minute planned out.
Right.
But just a general idea of what you plan to do.
Exactly.
And, a smile and a polite demeanor go a long way.
Oh, for sure.
A little bit of friendliness can make the whole process smoother.
Yeah, absolutely.
So breathe, be prepared, and be flight.
Great advice.
You'll be through immigration in no time.
Okay, so we've tackled check-in. We've survived immigration.
We're on a roll.
Now I can practically hear that boarding announcement calling our name.
Oh, yeah, the excitement is building.
Let's move on to the next stage of our airport adventure.
Let's do it.
And talk about how to navigate the boarding process.
Sounds good. Let's break it down.
With confidence.
Absolutely.
All right, so you've made it through check-in and immigration. You're feeling good, maybe grabbing a quick coffee, and then...
I hear it.
You hear it.
That boarding announcement.
Oh, yeah.
Flight number to destination is now boarding at gate number.
And your heart skips a beat?
A little bit, yeah. It's like the official start of the adventure.
It is, but before you run off to the gate...
Right.
There are a few things to keep in mind.
Yeah, especially if you're traveling with carry-on luggage.
Oh, tell me about it.
The overhead bin situation.
It can be brutal.
It can be. It's like a game of Tetris up there sometimes.
Seriously, I've had those moments where I'm like shoving my bag in sideways.
Praying it'll fit.
And hoping it doesn't like explode.
Right, and then you got those people who bring like way too much stuff.
Oh yeah, the overpackers.
And they're taking up all the space.
And they're trying to like cram in their winter coat.
In the middle of summer.
It's like, come on.
So here's a little strategy.
Okay, I'm listening.
Pay attention to the boarding groups.
Right.
If you're in a later group, consider hanging back a little bit.
Oh, that's smart.
Sometimes those early birds, they fill up all the bins closest to the front,
right,
leaving more space towards the back of the plane.
So let them fight over it.
Exactly. You just stroll on in
Great.
and find a nice empty bin.
I like it.
So you're at the gate.
Yep.
Boarding pass in hand.
Ready to go.
They're probably going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
May I see your boarding pass?
And maybe check your passport again.
Yeah, just a quick verification.
Simple as that.
Easy peasy.
And then it's time to
board the plane.
Find your seat.
Get settled in.
And now what?
Now you relax.
Right.
Enjoy the flight.
But what if you need something?
Good point.
Like maybe you didn't get that coffee after all.
Yeah.
You're feeling a little chill.
Don't be shy.
Ask.
Exactly.
Those flight attendants are there to help you.
They're there to make sure you have a comfortable journey.
So if you need something.
Yes, press that little call button.
Or politely flag them down.
Exactly.
What are some key phrases we can use?
Well, if you want a drink, you can say, "Excuse me, may I have a drink?"
Easy.
If you're feeling cold, you can say, "Could I please get a blanket?"
And what if...
Yeah.
What if you don't understand something?
Oh, that's a good one.
Like they're speaking too fast.
Right.
Whatever.
Don't be afraid to say.
Okay.
Could you please repeat that?
It's better to ask.
Much better, yeah.
Than to just pretend you understand.
Exactly, because then you might end up with something you didn't want.
Exactly. Or end up in the wrong place.
Right.
So clarification is key.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you've enjoyed your flight, maybe caught a few winks.
Feeling refreshed.
Now you're starting your descent.
Almost there.
But there's one final airport hurdle.
Yes.
Baggage claim. The moment of truth.
Where you're reunited with your trusty suitcase.
Oh, hopefully. Yes, fingers crossed.
We've all heard those horror stories about lost luggage.
Lost luggage, delayed luggage.
Damaged luggage.
It's a nightmare.
So let's be prepared.
All right, let's do it.
Just in case.
Yeah, because you never know.
So, you've arrived at baggage claim.
Okay.
You're looking for your bag.
Scanning the carousel.
But it's not there.
What do you do?
First of all, don't panic.
Right. Deep breaths.
Most lost luggage is eventually found.
Exactly. Just might take a little time.
So what's the first step?
Head over to the baggage service counter.
For your airline.
And be ready to...
describe your bag.
In detail.
Size, color, any distinguishing features.
And you'll need your baggage claim tag.
Oh, yes. That's crucial.
A little slip of paper.
It's like your bag's ID card.
Exactly.
So hold on to it.
They might also ask for your contact information.
Right. So they can reach you if they find your bag.
Okay, so what happens if they do find it?
Well, many airlines offer a delivery service.
Oh, that's good to know.
They might ask for your hotel address or a local contact number.
So you don't have to go back to the airport.
Exactly. They'll bring it right to you.
I'll have.
Now, let's rewind a bit.
Okay.
Back to the baggage carousel.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine your bag is actually there.
Okay.
But you're having trouble spotting it.
It's like a sea of suitcases.
It can be, yeah. Especially if it's a busy flight.
So what's the key here?
Stay vigilant.
Okay.
Scan those bags carefully.
Don't give up hope.
Right. Sometimes your bag might be the last one out.
And if you still can't find it?
Don't hesitate to ask for assistance.
All right, the airport staff are usually quite helpful.
They might be able to deck the back room or something.
So we've covered the smooth sailing scenario.
Yep.
And the just-in-case scenario.
Not prepared for anything.
But before we wrap up our airport adventure, I think there's one more area we should touch on.
Oh.
what about those times when you need to make special requests?
Right.
Or deal with unexpected situations?
Like flight delays or cancellations?
Exactly, because those can be stressful.
Definitely.
And knowing how to communicate effectively can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. So let's dive into that in our final segment.
All right, we're back, and we are talking about those unexpected travel moments.
Yeah, those curveballs that life throws at you.
Exactly, because even with the best planning, things happen.
Oh, yeah, you got to be ready for anything.
So let's say your flight gets delayed.
Ugh, the dreaded delay.
It happens.
It does, and it can be super frustrating.
Especially if you have a connecting flight.
Oh, yeah, that adds a whole other layer of stress.
So what are some key phrases we can use in this situation?
Well, first you want to find out what's going on, right?
Get some information.
So you could politely ask the gate agent,
okay,
excuse me, what is the reason for the delay?
Okay, that's a good one.
And you might also want to know,
yeah,
is there an estimated departure time?
So you can kind of plan accordingly.
Exactly, whether that's grabbing a snack or finding a place to charge your phone.
And what if the delay is like really long?
Like we're talking hours.
Yeah, or even worse, what if your flight gets canceled?
Okay, yeah, that's a whole different situation.
So what do we do then?
Well, the first thing is to stay calm.
Right, easier said than done.
I know, but freaking out won't help.
That's true.
So take a deep breath and then head over to the airline's customer service desk.
Okay, and what do we say?
You can explain the situation and say something like,
okay,
could you please help me rebook my flight?
Okay, and if they give you options?
Yeah, like different flights or routes. You can say, what are my options for getting to your destination?
Perfect. And it's always okay to ask for clarification.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't understand something, just ask.
Right, like, could you please explain that again?
Exactly. Or, could you please speak more slowly?
It's better to be sure than to end up on the wrong flight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No one wants to end up in the wrong place.
Okay, so we've covered flight delays and cancellations.
We're getting good at handling these curveballs.
But there's one more scenario I think we should talk about.
What's that?
The dreaded lost passport.
Oh no, that's every traveler's worst nightmare.
It's terrifying, like you're stranded.
It can feel that way, yeah, like a piece of your identity is missing.
So what do you do if this happens?
Again, first things first, try to stay calm.
Right, deep breaths.
Exactly, panicking won't help.
Okay, so then what?
You need to report the lost passport immediately.
Okay, where do you go?
Find the nearest airport police station or security office, and be prepared to provide all your information.
Like your name, date of birth, passport number, all that stuff.
Exactly, and any other relevant travel documents you have.
And this is where having copies of your important documents really comes in handy.
Oh yeah, that's a lifesaver in this situation.
So make sure you have photocopies or even digital copies stored on your phone.
Absolutely, you never know when you might need them.
All right, so you've reported the lost passport.
Now what?
Well, unfortunately, it's probably going to involve a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, there might be some forms to fill out and some waiting involved.
And you might need to contact your embassy.
Right, they can help you with getting a temporary travel document.
So you can continue your journey.
Exactly, so it's not the end of the world.
Just a bit of a detour.
A little hiccup in your adventure.
But with the right information and a little bit of patience,
you can get through it.
So there you have it, folks.
Our guide to handling those unexpected airport moments.
We've covered everything from check-in to baggage claim.
And even those curveballs that can throw you off course.
But remember, the most important thing is to stay calm.
Right. Don't let the stress get to you.
Ask for help when you need it.
And don't be afraid to use your English skills.
You've got this.
Happy travels, everyone.
And we'll see you on our next deep dive.